What time in relation to what process came these ideas, the first ideas? In relation to what process? A very important process for Latin America.
Wasn't it right after when they were starting to consolidate their governments? Or?
No.
Was it around the time of the oil crisis?
No.
No. The oil crisis was 20 years later.
Yeah, after, with globalization. The oil crisis
Which time period
had to do with globalization. But the question is, when came these ideas to Latin America? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
The independence wars.
Very important.
But the independence wars were in
1820, yeah.
But the main writers of socialism hadn't occurred yet.
Yeah.
The main writers of socialism hadn't occurred yet. They're like Marx and Engels wrote in 1848.
Yes, but the first were not. Yeah.
I mean, the French. Okay. French socialists, but I don't think people pay much attention to. Wasn't people during that liberal? Sorry, shouldn't get into a debate, but during that time period, the independence wasn't more liberal ideas being expressed at that time period because I don't remember. So going back to socialism in Latin America, and then there's several cycles. Let me just mention one more thing about socialism, and then I'll talk about Latin America. It also implies eventually one way to stop this occupational inequality, where some people are working hard and some people are just managing, was to have kind of state-run, cooperatives, state-run factories. The government basically having control of the economy, the government guiding it, and the government telling you how many people should work here, and what kind of job you should do, and what we should be developing.
Yeah, another interesting issue is related to the contents. In the case of liberalism, we had this idea of property. And of course, individual freedom. In addition to socialism, we have these ideas, but we have other ideas, other mind concepts. Remember you?
Oh, okay, yeah. So liberalism, it's main you're talking about the philosophy. So liberalism, the main emphasis is on the rights, your individual rights, the fact that you have them, the ability for you to express them. Socialism, on the other hand, argues that it's good to have these individual rights, but on the other hand, we also have to see, there are other maybe more important rights than just the right to access property. But
you will. Is it right if we affirm that liberty is the main concept in socialism? Liberty?
In a different concept, liberty through having better resources, through having adequate, food supplies, having adequate health care, having adequate education. I mean, that's how they sense quality of life. Yeah.
Equality.
Okay.
Yeah. Second concept.
Yeah.
Other two concepts, important concepts.
Income inequality. Which concepts are you referring to?
The main concepts of socialism.
Oh. Okay. All right. So and then the.
About the labor movements in 19th century, they felt that they had something to do together, and that is the concept of solidarity.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah, okay, I understand.
Is a very important
so
concept.
It's the idea of socialism would argue that we shouldn't have these individuals with their self-interest doing things, their own projects for themselves, but rather that we should have, cooperatism. We should have solidarity. We should work together as members for the joint goal of progress. So progress is still our goal. We still want development. It's just we want it to be we want to achieve this through working together, not as having common goals. So we recognize the needs of others.
Did they receive something of enlightenment? did they have a concept like in the Enlightenment about another main concepts? I mean,
I think so. I think there is like you said in your readings, in your writing, sorry, your essay. You said that this idea of progress, this idea came from
that's right.
Enlightenment.
Okay, thank you so much. So,
what were the four main tenets of socialism?
Aside from solidarity.
Freedom, equality,
Yeah.
solidarity.
liberty, solidarity, equality, progress.
Freedom was one of them?
Freedom in liberty.
Freedom.
Give that one.
And liberty.
In liberty. So liberty is related to freedom, to individual political rights, etc. Solidarity, equality, and progress. The four main concepts. Okay, the next. Next, after socialism, we have social Catholicism. Some questions. We try to very fast. First, a traditional direction or a traditional meaning or a traditional, point of view. So let me now the difference between these two approaches to development and reforms in social Catholicism. The traditional point of view and the modern point of view. I think that is very important. Yeah.
You want me to present
Yeah, of course.
on the difference between the traditional point of view
Or if you remember the traditional point of view, what?
of social Catholicism?
Yeah.
Um,
He highlight what?
Yes, in summary, just that there's sin, and in order to be forgiven from your sin, you need to absolve yourself. I'm not Catholic.
But maybe you remember something to do with war, with defense, with security, with...
I'm gonna phone a friend on this.
Are you talking about refoundational Catholicism?
Mhm.
Like governments can only start a law to increase justice, not to increase their power.
Mhm. But the traditional point of view highlight is something they did not ask about conditions to have progress, development, etc., but about the reasons to have peace or war. Peace or war. That was the first concern. The security. The security in relation with high politics. Peace. And the modern vision did change emphasis, and they think no, the most important are the conditions to have peace and security, and the conditions are related to social, economical, educational, etc. Condition for the human development of the people, and that is a very important change.